Hello everybody, how is it going? I am Lucas. We're going to be checking out the Toneforge Misha Mansoor plugin today. We're going to see how it sounds in the mix, out of the mix, and we're going to dive deep into all the different parameters. So let's get right to it and let's see how this bad boy sounds. This is my track. I got it set up on here. I'm using the DIs that you're going to hear. They're going to be of Misha's signature pickup, the Bare Knuckle Ragnarok, and the drums are going to be Get Good Drums, Matt Halpern signature pack. So let's kick it. Alright, that's how it sounds. It sounds pretty good to me. Let's actually dive deep into the plugin. I have it set up on two separate tracks here. The Sidewinder plugin that's on here, this is another cool plugin made by JST. The DI I have here, it was only of one performance. So what I did was I panned it left and right, and I put Sidewinder on it to throw it way out, so that it doesn't just give you like a straight mono signal. So that's why that's on there. So let's actually check out the plugin itself. So from the very get-go, what you just heard, I had that set up on the lead channel. You have a gate right here. I didn't have to use the gate. You have the in knob, you have the out knob if you want to jack it up. You also have a tuner up here, a little tuning fork right here. I think that's really cool to have a tuner in a guitar plugin app, because it kind of gives you a complete package, which I think that's really neat. Let's start at the very beginning of the plugin. So right here in the little pedal, this is the precision drop. This is Misha's signature pedal, which they modeled for the amp. I had the attack on 2, volume on 34, bright on 31. If you push the bright too much, it gets a little bit harsh. And I have the drive all the way down because the plugin itself has plenty of gain. And this is the amp section right here. Which is really cool, you have clean, crunch, or church, as Ola England says, and then you have the lead channel right here. Which is really nice about it is, so it's on this track instance right here. As you move between the different sections, it doesn't, it saves your settings. So if you go from clean to crunch, you can change from within the actual instance that you're in, and doesn't alter your settings any, which is really nice. So you have your you have your no EQ high, low, mid, and high going on right here. You have now the character knobs right here. These are preamp. They're before the amp. You have tight, which just acts kind of like a multi-band compressor, which is really neat. It helps kind of if you have a lot of palm mutes going on, it can help tame it a little bit. Saturation. That's just to give the tone a little bit more saturation. Let's play around with it and I'll let you hear it. That instance, make sure, definitely yes. And the per knob, this acts as a dynamic range for the low end. Misha uses this term per whenever he's palm muting, and it's like a dum dum, that type of thing. That is where he uses that word, so that's why it's in here, just to give you a little background on it. See how that sounds if you mess around with it. This one's a little bit subtle. It also has a little auto gain thing going on in there, because it gets a little bit more raspy from what I could hear whenever I turned it up. Now, the main attraction for it, the infinite gain knob right here. As you can see, if you look right here, it has different levels as you turn the gain knob around. I'm gonna play the track, and I'm just gonna move it around so you can hear it. And as you can see, it turns to infinity, but after a certain amount of rotations, it resets back to 0. And it goes up to 4 times. So you have 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you have 3 different gain stage levels on each level. So you have, 1, then 1A, 2, 1A, 1B, 1C, so on and so forth, which it's pretty neat because it gives you a lot of different tonal flavors. You can pick one you like and you can go adjust the EQ. This is about where I liked it on stage 3. Now you do have now on this side of the plugin, this is going to be everything post. Everything is post amp. So behind it, so you have the presonance right here. Presonance, that's obviously get a little bit of the high going there. The range is kind of like a sweep knob. A lot of JST plugins have a range knob, which it's nice. I use it a lot in in Drumforge and DFQ. It's an EQ and it lets you sweep the range. So I'll play it and just mess with it. And that's about where I left it. And as you can see, you can lots and lots of options on there. So the next little box in the bottom we got right here. This is the cabinet selection. It lets you load in your own impulses. So what I did was I loaded in ML Soundlab's best IR in the world. It is definitely free. I'll put a link to it in the description down below if you want to check it out. To me, when I put this IR on, the plugin sort of came alive, and this is the sound I had in my head. So that's why I used it. But it does come. You have plenty of other ones that come in. It's a JTS Match Cab. You have Joey's beautiful golden little face right here on this one. If you go to the Zilla one, right here, you can pick through different mic, a bunch of different mic combinations. You have the same different mic combination on each different one. You have the Zilla, the PV, the JST Classic. I'm gonna play it and cycle it through for you real quick. And that was just to kind of give you a different little comparison for the ones that are built in and for the loading different IR. I really love the fact that they let you put on your own IRs. A lot of other plugins don't let you do that, and that's really neat because it lets you customize the sound exactly the way you want. Now you have the effects right here. When we go over cleans, I'm going to go more in depth to this. I kind of just want to show you now. We have the effects rack right here, which is really cool because a lot of other VST plugins that I've used, minus the Helix native plugin, don't really have built-in effects, which I like that because you kind of have everything in one little plugin. Next one, as you can probably guess, is it's the mixer. And as everything that you hear today, I did strictly within the plugin. So the guitar tracks aren't EQ'd anywhere else but the plugin itself, minus a few of the mastering plugins I have running. I did a little bit of EQing right here. Now the very last one, you have the compressor. This compressor right here is like super powerful. I never usually compress my guitars. I mean, you have a little bit of harmonic and compressor right here, which I completely skipped, so let's go over that right now. This is also post amp. The harmonics really make the sound open up a lot and sound good, and you have another little compressor right here. So let's play it and mess with that. The good thing about this compressor is it does work, but as you can hear, it's very subtle. So it doesn't. This bad boy right here, this thing is, watch. I'm gonna kick it on and watch and see how powerful it is. So I do like the fact that they threw it in there. Like I said, it's just very powerful. You just kind of have to watch out for it. You turn the precision drive on and off. Boop, doop, doop. Got some ball plugins right here. wanted to point this out. This is which is a nice little touch. The model of this right here, this is a kind of like a little mock-up of Misha's apartment. And back here, this is Washington, D.C. This is where he's from. He's from that area. And I found that was a nice little touch. It's a signature guitar. That's a nice little touch that they threw in there, and not a lot of people picked up on. I found that was cool. Now that we've heard some meaty distortions, let's check out some clean sounds. So what I'll do is I'll play them for you real quick, and then we'll talk about it. If you know what riff that is, let me know in the comments down below. It's from a great song. And so for the clean section right here, it's the same thing as the leads and the crunch. I'll let you hear the crunch once we wrap up with cleans. Same exact thing. You have 4 different levels you can go from. Same thing. Saturation and the purr kind of become, you don't have to really mess with those as much on cleans. Harmonics are exactly the same. Let me mess with it. I jacked up the compressor a lot more in here for the cleans to make everything a little bit more even. So I use the same exact impulse as I did on the lead channel. Now, big thing in here, okay, is the effects. So take a look at here. You see how it has 1/4 for the timing of the delay, and when we go into it, it's at 1/8. So I wanted to point that out before I forget. What you see on this screen before you actually go into the effects itself, it doesn't necessarily correspond to what you have set. So you see the knobs are different right there. Just wanted to point that out, which is not a bad thing or anything. I just kind of wanted to point that out. The delay is actually you have time, you have depth, you have rate. You can put it pre and post. You can do digital or tape. You can mess with the tone. You can do mono. You can do stereo. You can do the repeats. Let's play with this a little bit here. Let me get the cleans on repeat right here. Yeah, that'll work. Some people like the delays in different spots, so you definitely have the choice of definitely where you want to put them at. And let's turn it on and off here with a little pedal, just like a real effect delay pedal. Let's go into the chorus here. Let's do the same thing. Let's mess around with this. Alright, so next up you have the reverb. I'm gonna turn the chorus off, and let's just hear what the reverb sounds like. As you can see, you have a ×2 button right here. This, I guess, I'm assuming the size button makes the size ×2, makes it sound even fatter. You have a tone knob. You have a time knob right here. You have pre-delay, and of course you have your mix delay. How much of it you actually want in the mix itself. What I find that is cool about this plugin is I like that for The cleans, you have all your effects in there and you can make it sound massive all within one plugin, because a lot of other guitar plugins that I have used, when it comes to cleans, they do have the effects in there, but they're not all that great. And I mean, you can also use other effects within the DAW itself, which is great because, you know, you have tons of flexible freedom. But for someone who's very new to mixing, or if they, you know, they're using this for demos and they're crunched for time, you kind of have a semblance of everything in there, which I like, and I think that's cool. Same exact thing. When it comes to the mixer, I took a little bit out, put a little bit in, took a little bit of the high end off because it's a little bit ice picky, and I didn't use the compressor on this one either, didn't use the precision drive. That's it for the cleans. The cleans really impressed me. I like them a lot because it's very easy to get a nice good ambient tone within the plugin itself without using anything else. Let's bounce over to crunch real quick. Let's do some dad rock on a drop B riff right here real quick. Let's bounce to this and then we'll wrap things up. So let's go back to the infinity tone knob right here. Let's go to crunch. Remember, it actually keeps the settings in the lead channel. Let's do a little repeaty. Let's build it. Something interesting to know that I just caught, whenever you move the channels right here, it keeps the settings, but these right here stay the same. See, the EQ didn't really move all that much any. So as you can see, on the crunch setting and on the lead setting, my crunch setting was actually a little bit thicker. My lead setting actually sounded a little bit more thin, I guess because of how I jacked up the low end. But you have a ton of different tonal options on here. I actually like this plugin a lot. Is it the most amazing, best thing in the world? No, there's a little bit room for growth, but that's gonna come with time. As they update, it's gonna get a little bit better. Out of the gate, it is fairly complete. I love the fact that you have the thing that I like the most, that I find a lot of people overlooking, is that the cleans sound cool. And when I mean they sound cool, I mean you have the effects in there. They're not gonna be the most warm, you know, like from a Fender type of clean, but that's not what this is for. This is you know, the distortion is very mid-range, focused. If you get in this plugin, you know, you're mainly kind of looking for a metal, but I find that the cleans are cool because, like I said, it's a one-stop shop if you're doing demos, or, you know, even if you're a beginner. A lot of the JST stuff I find is made to be very easy, and that's what this is. So if you're a beginner, you don't have to feel, you know, intimidated by it. You can slap it on, you can play and you can record with this, and or if you're mixing and you want to get, you know, slap it on some DIs like we did here, and you can get a good, you can kind of get a good idea of what it sounds like. That is my opinion. That wraps it up for me. What do you think about this plugin? Do you love it? Do you hate it? What things would you like to see added to it? Let me know in the comments down below. As for me, I'm going to have to be out. Peace.